Okay, we finished until this section last week. I hope that you can understand the main function. So the main function is to generate the interface. In this case, we are making a class. So the class is main window, and we are going to construct a dialog. We call it a dialog in this topic. And then we are going to create the user dialog. The user interface dialog means we create anything that you design. So now let's make a simple GUI. Let's make a simple GUI based on the components in the Qt designer. So there are some steps before we can execute the GUI. At first, you need to create the window panel. And then next, you need to save the panel into .ui. After you save it, you need to convert the user interface to .py. And then you need to add more functions because the user interface is only the user interface. There is no function. There is no way to execute without any statement. So this is the step. The first is to create the window panel, and then the next, save the file into the .ui, and then next, convert or modify the user interface to .py, and then add main function to execute the GUI. So let's take a look on the windows. When you create the design at the first time, there are 5 items. Dialog with buttons bottom, dialogs with buttons bottom. It means the button's position is at bottom. Dialog with buttons right, it means the button's position is on the right. We can create dialog without buttons. So there is no button. And we can create main window. There is only a window for building the menu. And widget. A widget, it is a panel. Now let's create one design. So this is the Python environment. Last time I mentioned to you, we can create a design by set up a folder. So in this case, I will use the GUI. You can have your own folder. And in this folder GUI, you can right click. After you do the right click, you can have this pop up or this panel. Okay, so there are many options. You can make a new file, you can cut, copy, paste, and etc. So I would like to execute the external tools. So the external tools means here. So we created this last Thursday. So there are 2. We created the Qt designer and PyUIC. So the Qt designer, you can click this one, then you will see the designer phase. Okay, if you have any design that have not finished, they will give you this message. Yeah, it's up to you whether you want to use the previous design or you want to create a new design. So let me create a new design. So if you want to create a new design, you will see these 5 options. Okay, you can see here. If you click buttons button, then the buttons, there are 2 buttons here. If you click buttons right, then there are buttons on the right. If you click without buttons, then there will be no buttons. If you click main window, yeah, it seems the same with dialog and widget. It is also the same, but we call widget. This is widget. Okay. We have to widget sangja. So this is a collection of widget. Now let's make a main window. Okay, today let's practice with the main window. So in this option, there are several buttons you can song. So you can create your GUI, open, okay, or you can check what is the latest activities, or you can just close it. Now I would like to create. Then you will see this page. So in the main window, if you click here, you can see your GUI has show. If you double click, you can make a kind of menu. So if you see this one, you have file, 편집, home, 보기, 설정. So you can make here. So it is a kind of menu. Now let's follow the PowerPoint that I created. So this is the main window. Now let's look at the environment first. This is the place that you can design. These are the widget. Okay. So those are the widget location. And there are some properties. Okay. We call this is properties. So the properties means you can make name, you can set up the position, you can set up the size and etc. And you need to access on those panels. Now let's make an example. I'm going to create an application about greeting. We are going to make greetings.py. So we are going to make greetings.py, and the greetings.py is from greetings.ui. So it is a basic GUI environment. As you know, before we create this user interface, we need to create the window panel. After we create the window panel, let's save the window panel into a file. Let's say this name is greetings.ui. And then let's convert it into greetings.py. And then let's put some function before we execute it. Now let's make the user interface. The greeting.ui, this is the user interface. The goal is when we enter a text, we can call and write the text after you click the button. So this is the GUI. So you already have the directory. Okay, let's create the directory name GUI. You already have it. And then you can do the right click on the directory GUI and choose the external tool and then click Qt Designer. And you will see this one. For this one, let's choose the main window. Okay. Now, there are some properties that we will use. I set up a table here to make it more convenient for you. So in this case, I would like to define what kind of widget that we want to use. And for every widget, you need to define the properties. So the properties means the variable that we are going to use in the Python file. So you need to define this clearly. And then text. Text means something that will appear in the user interface. So I can say something like this. The variable, it will be in the Python file. So you need to define the variable. And text, it is the text in the user interface, in the UI. Okay. So those two is necessary. The other properties, for example, the size or the color, yeah, it's up to you. You can define it later. Now, you will see that in some of the cases, you can choose the layout. So there are some layout, but I will skip it. Okay, I will not explain the layout, just make it very simple. So for your team project, yeah, you can just make it a simple layout. And then you need a button. A button means you prepare a button here. When you press this button, you will execute something. So the variable name, let's make it push button. So this is the variable later in Python file. The text that appear in the user interface is like this one, push button. And I will have line edit. So this is the line edit. I will put it here. And the variable name will be line edit. And next is the text edit. I will put it here. And the variable name will be text edit. Okay. Now let's do this one. Before we do this one, I would like to let you know that the variable name is located at the object name. So you can see here later some properties and cup. This is the value. So the text, it is the text shown in the button or in the widget. Okay. So let's do together. Let's do the first push button. So you will see there is button. If you cannot find this widget, you can filter. Okay, on the top of this Qt Designer, you can see filter. So you can type button. So if you type button, then only the widget with the word button appears. So I will choose push button, so you can click and then move to the main window. Then you will see push button. Now you need to check what is the object name. What is the object name? And what is the text? Okay, so only two that you need to modify. Let's go to the properties. So here the object name is push button. Okay, yeah, I do not modify at this moment. The object name is push button. It is initially generated by Python. And then text. Okay, where is text? If you cannot find the text, you can go down, 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 down. So you can see there are so many properties like enable, geometry, size policy, minimum size, and etc. I think it is too many, so you don't need to consider that one. Yeah, if you want to consider that one later, you can study by yourself. Now you can see the text. Okay, the text here is push button. Okay, yeah, it's up to you whether you want to keep the push button like this one or you want to put a space. Okay. So it is only to show on the main window. Okay, if you okay with this one, you can press enter. Then now the push button becomes text with a space. Yeah, if you think that this is very small, okay, so you can go to the font. Okay, the font size is 9. So if you want to enlarge it, let's say 16. And you click this one, you will see that now the button becomes bigger. So you can change any of the options. Next, I would like to do the line edit. So let's look at the line edit. If you have difficulties to find the line edit, you can type line, okay, and then you will see the line edit. Here you can click and then move your mouse to the main window. So this is the line edit. Now let's see. The object name is line edit. Okay. So the object name is line edit. There is no issue. And then the next is text edit. Okay, the text is empty, so I don't need to put anything here. Next is text edit. The text edit, you can find the text edit. So there are several text edit. We have text edit or plain text edit. So I will choose text edit and then click and drag here. So you can resize this text edit. And then the object name is text edit. You can see here, okay, the object name is text edit. Then you can check what is the text. Okay, it seems nothing, okay, because this is a long text, so there is nothing at the first time. Okay, so it means we already finished with 3 things. Okay, we already create the push button, line edit, and text edit. So after finishing this one, let's save it. Okay. So we need to save. What is the name of this one? Is you need to save Jojang, and then let's make the name as greetings.ui. Okay, make the file name as greetings.ui. Actually, the file name can be anything. So let's now use greetings.ui. I will let you know later. After you have the greetings.ui, now you can return back to your PyCharm and you will see there is a file greetings.ui. It has been created in the folder GUI. Okay. Now I need to convert. Okay, we need to create the Python file. So the user interface or the file.ui, it should be converted or should be modified to .py. So we learned last time we can use the external tool. Okay. We can use the external tool, but there is another way. So I want to teach you to use the terminal. What is the terminal? So last time we learned about the terminal. It is to connect to the command prompt. So you can go to PyCharm. So the button part of the PyCharm, there is the terminal. So you can click on the terminal. So this is the location where you want to do or when you want to execute a file. In this case, the folder is the project of the Python. In my case, I'm using the Python 2024. Now, if you look at the PowerPoint, I'm going to run this file. I'm going to run this statement. Okay. So let me type it for you. So I will execute Python. It means, yeah, I will run the Python and I will do -m. -m means I will do something to modify. I will do something to run the pyqt5.uic.pyuic. It means this is a file that you will use to convert the user interface from the Qt designer. And what is the file? Okay, the file is located at the folder GUI /greetings.ui. So this is the folder name. The folder name, I just created the GUI. So if you create another name, yeah, you need to follow that folder name. Greetings.ui is the file name that I created with the user interface. So you can change the file name as you want. So if you change the file name with abc.ui, then this should be abc.ui. Now, after I want to get this user interface, so I need to type -o. -o means I want to access this file and I'm going to make an output. So this output, what will be the output? The output will be saved in this folder, the folder GUI, and then the file name is greetings.py. So I will type again after I do the -o. The folder name will be GUI, and then the file name will be greetings.py. So after you finish this, you can press enter. And then you will see there is a new file, greetings.py. And see there is a greetings.py in the folder GUI. So this is the way to use the terminal. You can use the external tool. So how do you use the external tool? So we learned last time you can go to File, Setting, and then you can go to the Tools and External Tools. So in the PyUIC, if you still remember, first we are accessing the python.exe. And then what is the argument? So in Python, okay, we can specify the argument. So this is the file that you are going to execute, which is Python, and this is the argument. Okay, we call this is the arguments. That's why when you write in this panel, first you can access the program. The program is python.exe, and then the argument is -m, so it's just the same, pyqt5 uic.pyuic. It means the file that you are going to use to change the user interface into the Python file. And then what is the user interface name? So last time we use x.ui. So I'm going to change, or I'm going to make an output. The output will be x.py. That's why last time when we execute this one, when you execute this one here, user x.ui, when you do the external tools pyuic, then you will make the x.py. So if the file name is greetings.ui, what should you do? So if you use this setting pyuic, then you need to change the file name. Then the file name greetings.ui change to greetings.py. Okay, so you need to change this one first, and then you can apply, and you can convert this greetings.ui, go to external tool, and execute pyuic. Oh, maybe I mistype. Okay, sorry. Greetings. Okay, greetings.py. Oh, typo. I mean, sorry. Let me delete this one. So the greetings.ui, I will do the external tool. I will use pyuic. Then, yeah, there will be a new file greetings.ui. Okay. So there are two ways. Okay. You can choose one. Okay, you can choose one. Which one is better? It's up to you. You can use the terminal. You can use the terminal typing, or you can go to the external tool. You need to edit based on the file name, and then after that execute it. So yeah, this is option 1, this is option 2. You can choose which one is better for you. After you have the greeting.py, now you will see that the file name, okay, the greetings.py, it is a Python file where the widget has been defined. For example, you can see here they have push button. So here they have line edit. This one they have text edit. Push button, you already defined it before. Line edit and text edit. Okay. So the name, you already defined the name. So for the push button, the name is push button. Then if you do not want to design, then you need to write the Python code by yourself. So you need to type one by one. That's why I teach you using the designer. It will be easier for you to create your user interface. However, this is not running. Why? Because there is no function to call this user interface. You need to create the main function. Okay. Now, this is an explanation. You can see the push button. You can see the text edit. You can see the line edit. Now, I'm going to add function. So this function is the main function in order to show the user interface. Put the below code in the bottom of greetings.py. So I will put here. And after you put the code at the bottom of the greeting.py, let's do one more thing. In the most bottom of UI main window class, write this one. Okay, so what is the UI main window? Let me copy this one. So we have UI main window and we have main window. So in this case, let's put the code in the UI main window. So I will let you know later. In the class UI main window, we have one function, and then we have another function. Now I'm going to add a new function. So this new function should be the same line with retranslate user interface. So this function should be the same line. Okay. And the most bottom of setup UI, put this line. So you can see the setup UI. Here is setup UI function. And at the bottom of this setup UI, put the statement that I give in the PowerPoint. So this will be the statement at the end of the setup UI, and this will be the function at the end of the UI main window. Now let's run the code. I will run the greetings.py. Now you can push the button. When you push the button, now you will see button click. So something has been clicked. So if you click again, so it is here clicking, and then it shows the button already clicked. So we will do something more, okay, about this one. But before that one, let's look at this function. This function means I would like to click the push button. So if the push button is clicked, then I will do the update label. What is update label? I will do the function update label. So the function update label is, we have the text edit. What is text edit? What is text edit? Text edit is here. Okay. So in the text edit, let's set the text as button click. So whenever you click the button, you will see button click. Okay. Now let's see if I change this one, button click. So I do not want to write the button click. I want to write have yogin. Is it possible? So if you run, then the result will be have yogin. So the text that is in between the double quote will be printed into this text edit. Okay. So I can do one more thing. Okay. After I have this text edit, let's say I want to input something. Okay. I want to get the text from the line edit. So whenever you type something, you want to show it into the text edit. Now I will update the code. So there's two lines. Okay. So modify the function update label into the following. So I will like to update this one in the Python code. So I will not use this one. Instead, I will use this statement. So the text 01, it will be the line edit dot text. So I'm going to check what is the text of the line edit, and then I'm going to set the text edit equals to the text 01. Okay, let's see what happened here. When you run this, when you push button, nothing. Okay, there is nothing. But when you type something here, have yogin. When you click here, then it will show in the text edit. Let's say I change to Seoul. So if you push the button, then it changes to Seoul. Again, let's say I want to mention South Korea. So if I push the button, then it changes to South Korea. Okay. Okay, this is the very basic GUI. Okay, let's have a break. I will continue after the break. So if you have any issues, please let me know so I can help you.